Drew Stevens here for myCPE, and I wanted to do something very quick for you and let you know about some information I came upon most recently. We know that there's relatively high inflation here in the United States as I provide this short informational video. We know that inflation is starting to come down and recession is starting to hit. With recession, unfortunately, will come unemployment. We are starting to see massive layoffs at a lot of the technology firms, Google, Microsoft, Intel, Amazon, and the list rolls on. We're starting to see retail vendors like Bed Bath & Beyond begin bankruptcy proceedings, and we're also seeing less merger and acquisition activity as well as less IPOs. In addition to the lessening of IPOs, we're also starting to see the elimination of a lot of the valuation of companies that are starting to try to go IPO, which means that there's going to be less in the coffers for the individuals trying to formulate a public organization. And in addition to that, there will be much less for investors as far as stock price. And a couple of other things to look at. We're still paying very, very high prices for commodities like natural oil and electricity. And we are also paying a lot for eggs and dairy, and real estate is still quite high. Although it's starting to slow down, the cost of homes is still very high. The cost of apartments is still very high. And in addition to that, we're starting to see the blighting of commercial shopping malls with the number of individuals that are now shopping online. And we're seeing less activity in terms of commercial real estate. Many people are still working from home, and that's causing employment issues between retail and also the corporate sector. Why am I bringing this up? Here's the importance of this, and this is the debrief of that. The large financial firms like Vanguard and Fidelity, which is for the most part, the hugest administrators for 401k plans, are starting to see individuals that have retirement plans, specifically 401ks, and approximately 2.8% of those individuals are starting to pull money from their retirement accounts for hardships. Hardships are considered eviction notices. Hardships are considered foreclosures. Hardships are considered things such as I'm unemployed and I don't have enough liquidity to stay the course in terms of finding a new job. In addition to that, there are other items such as terminal illness, critical illness, dread disease, medical hardships, and all of those are reasons for withdrawing accounts out of retirement. The fact is that some of this has been lessened during the pandemic because the pandemic and Congress specifically gave relief to individuals that were in retirement and needed the liquidity because of firms that have closed their doors, shuttered their doors, and were not hiring individuals. But this is going to produce a problem down the line. Number one is if you're going to take money out of your 401k plan, you need to make sure that it's truly for financial hardship. Now, in terms of 401k plans and other retirement plans, those retirement savings at some particular point in time can be used for first home purchases, college tuition, or medical emergencies, should there be a funeral or a dreaded disease in some way, shape, or form. As I mentioned, if it's going to help with an eviction or a foreclosure, most certainly. Those are some of the people that I've helped in the past. However, what you need to really consider is that should be your last resort. That is retirement savings. And if you're starting to pull content from your retirement savings, understand you're going to miss out on opportunities in the present and the future. These are long-term opportunities. At some particular point in time, you're going to need that money back because you may actually not have enough money in retirement. Believe it or not, over 90% of individuals run out of income in their retirement programs. And so some of the programs that I teach here at myCPE look at optimizing not only your Social Security, but also optimizing your retirement savings plan. If you're going to extract money from those retirement accounts, take it as a loan and make sure that you start to pay that loan back when you can. The issue is that as soon as you begin draining those accounts, it's like many other things. Once it's forgotten, it's forgotten. And at some particular point in time, you're going to wake up one day at 70 or 80 years of age and realize you're tapped out. And you don't want to do that. 90% of retirees, yeah, that's a big number, but 90% of retirees are actually poor and live in poverty. And believe it or not, in many instances, because women actually live longer than men, most women die in poverty in later years simply because they don't have the income to afford it. My suggestion to you is take some of the classes here at myCPE, learn a little bit about optimizing your Social Security, learn a little bit about optimizing your retirement so that you can live with the income to have the liquidity that's necessary in a longer life. But more importantly, related to this, use your retirement savings for just that. If it is an emergency, only take it as a loan and only take it when needed. And more importantly, before you actually push the button, do talk to your accountant or financial advisor for the best advice in this particular situation. God bless, and I'll see you at one of the myCPE webinars. And remember, for every webinar you obtain here at myCPE, all of the CE credits, the total amount of CEs that you take actually feeds one person in the world. So for every educational credit you get, we will feed one person that is in dire need. And I hope you take some of those CEs and help feed the world. God bless, and I'll see you on a webinar.